We come down here to the first event today, the women's Ironwoman. We're in for a crack race.
Yeah, Open Ironwoman final. You can go through the field here, Josh. Our 4 girls have automatically qualified to the SIQS, but still plenty of pride and points on the line.
That's it, and it's a great quality field as we go down. A lot of big names there. All the girls on the first page have been involved in that Kellogg's Ironwoman series, so they're really going to show off what they've got. And then there's a couple of young guns there. The Maddie Pryor from Warilla Barry Point, Taylor Biscaric there from Manly, Eliza Smith and Lizzie Wellborn. She's been a real find so far in the summer surf. One of the stars of the future.
Yeah, most definitely an incredible board paddler, and certainly haven't seen it too much in the Ironwoman. It'll be interesting to see how the teenager goes with the girls lining up here, and away they go. Ski, swim, board, the order. And we said before in the SIQS, the guys, it's still up for grabs, but the girls, those 4 girls sealed their spot at Burleigh, and so now it really comes down to the racing. And we saw before, obviously, Georgia Miller, Kirsty Higginson, and both Amy and Carly Nerthen. The pressure's off them now, and now they can have a free hit today and try and really capitalise on that.
Yeah, as we see the girls going, oh, they just get belted there. I think, Georgia Miller's gone off, so a few off there. That sure is going to come into play all day here at Newport. As the tide goes out, the bank will get shallower, skills will come into play. But Kurt, the pressure might be off in terms of the Kellogg's Ironman series, or Ironwoman series, but that summer surf final, these girls all need to qualify. I know Courtney Hancock needs a good result. A few of these other girls are sitting outside the top 16, so they're racing for points here. They want to be back at Newport for the final, racing to be crowned the summer surf champion.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head saying back here at Newport, and that's where we're going to be. So this is a great hit out. You're going to be at this beach again, a good way to get these conditions under your belt and understand how this surf works. It's tricky out there today. We'll see that a bit later on. But Danielle McKenzie on that white ski, the pink nose, going about it the right way. The Kiwi from the Northcliffe Club and her Northcliffe teammate, Courtney Hancock, continues to go from strength to strength here in this season.
We've seen Danielle McKenzie in the last couple of weeks probably be the best craft competitor in the whole country. Ski, board, there hasn't been anyone better. And the other interesting one, as you said, is Courtney Hancock. She's been pretty quiet in the summer surf, but in the last few rounds, we've seen her start to build. She really wants to be there at the end of that summer surf final. She's built the last couple of rounds, needs a good result here today, and she's going about it the right way, sitting on Danielle McKenzie's wash there on the right-hand side. I think that's Harriet Brown in third on the yellow ski, and Jordan Mercer, another one of the girls who's really shone in the last sort of 4 or 5 rounds. She's sitting back there in fourth, so you can't let these 3 or 4 at the front go, because they're going to take the race by the scruff of the neck, and they're going to run away with it.
Yeah, on board here with Jordan Mercer at the moment. Well, on board on the ski, and you're going to see the left-hand side, Devon Halligan there as well from the Northcliffe Club. Little carnage there. Looks like Lizzie Wellborn and Tara Coleman getting to know each other a little bit better around that apex can. It's so tricky, but no worries for Courtney Hancock here in second spot, rating away really nicely. Look, she's up the tempo, and her and Harriet Brown going stroke for stroke. Some good shots.
Yeah, and that's part of the beauty of being out in front for these girls. There's no crash and bash going around those cans, and a little bit of inexperience there from Lizzie Wellborn. She kind of stopped paddling, got caught up in the thing. You got to keep that blade in the water and keep it going, just like Jordan Mercer is here, because the quicker you're into the can and then you're out of the can, the less trouble you're going to have.
We're going to break it down here for this surf. It's nice and smooth out the back. We can see that. It looks like a lake out there, but when we get close to the shore, the surf's not big, but it's tricky, and that low tide is going to play a real big part at the moment. There's a huge rip running out in the northern end, and these girls got to make a decision. Is it going to be the rip or is it going to be the bank? And it looks like at the moment Danielle McKenzie on the way-in's got a nice little runner here, and it's going to be interesting to see this decision-making for all these girls as that next 3 on the chase pack. Harriet Brown on the yellow ski, Courtney Hancock in the middle on the orange, and then that stripe ski of Jordan Mercer closest to screen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out here, especially we've got a couple of the tall girls there, Harriet, Courtney. They'll be able to use the bank to their advantage, and the weaker swimmers will try and jump in that rip. So we could see the pack split as they come around and head into the swim, and it'll really be a telltale sign. The girls will have used the heats and the semis to figure out which way they're going to go, to figure out the plan they're going to use and what works best for them, because what works for Courtney Hancock or Harriet Brown may not work for a Jordan Mercer or a Danielle McKenzie. So as we see the girls come around here, they're all going to they're heading down north, they're going to jump in that rip, so it looks like all the girls are going to use that rip, and they're trying to avoid the bank.
Yeah, Georgia Miller, Devon Halligan, Kirsty Higginson in there, Maddie Pryor having a good race, and they keep coming through, and you can just see here now these girls starting to head a little bit further north. Some nice shots from the drone here. They'll do do some duck diving, and before you know it, they're going to be in this rip. So these girls, they've probably gone down about 20, 25 metres further north to try and get in this rip and get out the back as fast as possible. But Josh, tell us, especially for those people at home watching, you want to avoid a rip normally if you're coming down to the beach just for a fun and splash, but these surf sports competitors, they love a rip. It's the quickest way to get out the back.
Yeah, if you can find water that's moving in the same direction you are or is generally going in that same direction, you want to jump in it and let it take you out. Not only will you'll swim faster than somebody just normally swimming in normal water, but you'll also use less energy as well. So it's more efficient, it's a whole lot faster, and for some of these girls, it's for the best way to go. We can see they've all jumped in there.
It's flying out there. Look at that water just pushing them out. They're hardly stroking at all. It's like they've all got flippers on.
Yeah, it's that choppy water you can see on the screen there. It doesn't look really nice, but it's definitely the fast way. And as we take a look from the drone, all the girls have run in there, which was interesting because if you're at the back, you've got to do something different to the girls at the front. So I'm surprised that some of the girls in 10th, 12th, 13th place didn't risk it, didn't take the bank and really lay it all out there and take another option.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to throw the dice, don't you? We'll probably see that in the men's race as well. As that tide continues to go out, that option to try and take the bank is definitely going to increase in percentage. But just for those as well, like the rip is so quick. If you take the rip and then someone doesn't, say a stillwater swimmer like a Kate Campbell would just go out normally, these guys not as good in the pool, not as fast, but they would smoke her just because that water's pushing them out.
That's exactly right. They'll swim almost twice as fast with that water running out. You can't beat Mother Nature. Going out or going in, she's always going to be stronger than you. So use it to your advantage. Use it when there's no waves, get out in that area, and when you're coming in, if there is waves, you want to make sure you're in that part of the bank as well. So the girls heading in now, they'll be looking for these waves. They'll make sure they're on the bank, and they'll try and avoid the rip now coming in, and they'll look for the shallowest part of the water because that's where a wave's going to stand up the earliest. That's where it's going to break the earliest. So they'll make sure they're on the shallowest part of the bank, and they're the first in line to grab these waves.
Yeah, so Courtney Hancock still in front, getting into this wave zone, and Josh is spot on when we're talking about staying out of the rip. There's a little rip to the south as well, so there's rips on the right and left-hand side of the area. Get in it going out, stay away from it coming back all day long, otherwise you're going to have some trouble. Here we go. Oh, look at this body surfing.
Beautiful.
Nice scooter drill. Down she goes, Courtney Hancock, and she's going to get this onto the bank. Harriet Brown stands up there, that big 6'2" frame, trying to duck dive and get out. But look how shallow that bank is now.
As we see the girls coming down one behind it, and that's our four leaders there. Dev Halligan, Jordan Mercer have joined Harriet Brown, but it's on out the back. A couple have come down, so this will shake things
Maddie
up.
Pryor on a massive jag and another Northcliffe cap out there as well.
Looks like a Malulba one down there as well, so the girls are, so important. Those back markers have come down that one. They'll hold it the whole way through, but no doubting our leader here, Courtney Hancock. She's done everything right so far. Out in front on the ski, really made her move in her strongest leg on the swim, and she'll look to hold on in this board leg. But it was interesting to see there the girls, they stood up in ankle depth water there. That's just how shallow it is and how much of an impact it can make. So it may be the bank here on the board will be their best option because they can run across it as quick as possible, jump out and get going straight off the can.
Oh, it is dead set a flip of the coin whether you take the bank or you take the rip now on this board leg because it's getting really shallow. Harriet Brown is going to use the long legs, isn't she?
Over, but yeah, she'll use her long legs. Geordie Mercer's followed her in there, and so's Danielle McKenzie. As we see these back markers come around, they're all going to go in. There's some great board paddlers in this field here. Tara Coleman, Amy Nerthen, Crystal Smith, Lizzie Wellborn. So they're not out of it here. Those 3 or 4 names could drag the rest of this pack up onto our 4 leaders, especially if they get cleaned up on this little bank and this little wave that as the girl.
Oh, Brown off again.
Wow.
So this is the risky one when you go on the bank as well. The waves are going to be more consistent, and if you start to hurt, that heart rate starts to rise and you get caught inside. So here we go. Courtney Hancock through. Harriet Brown just bumps over that one, and Danielle McKenzie. Now, where's Jordan Mercer? I think she's gone a little bit further north to try and get out in that rip, and it'll be interesting to see the battle between her and Hancock as they head towards these turning cans in this final leg.
That's exactly right, Curtis. We see the pink can out the back there. That's the one they're heading for. But that rip's really taking the girls. Oh, look at Jordan Mercer. She's appeared out of nowhere. That rip's taking them right to that pink can where Courtney's going to have to paddle back onto it. We can see the effect the rip's had in that
Maddie Dunn
one.
as well. So Maddie Dunn's gone on Mercer's wash.
Nowhere.
And all of a sudden, Courtney Hancock in 1 is now Courtney Hancock in 3. Jordan Mercer 1, Maddie Dunn 2, Courtney Hancock 3. That rip is motoring. And not only is it flying out, but it's flying a little bit left to right, so it favours you as well. It brings you back onto the can. It's almost like just getting an elevator straight out the back.
And we saw the difference it made there. These girls who took the bank obviously thought, like I did, that it'd be the easy option. They'd scoot over a few waves and be right on that can, but not today. Jordan Mercer's made them all look silly, made sure she stuck to her race plan, and she's done such a huge effort to be out in front now. But Courtney Hancock's not letting this go. She skipped back into second place, and it's going to be a race on here. These three are such good board paddlers, and they're so quick up the beach, so it'll be really interesting. Harriet Brown doesn't know what's happened. She's gone in the lead, back in fourth place now, so she's that bank's really claimed another victim.
Yeah, just remarkable to see. Look at this Mercer. She can taste it now. She's up the rating, but Hancock won't let it go, right on her wash. So right trailing there, Maddie Dunn has been huge. She was nowhere after those first two legs, has come storming back into contention, and Harriet Brown trying to hang on to her wash. So the two Northcliffe teammates, they're working together, but waves coming.
Well,
this could be big, and big for the leaders, I think.
That's it. They're going to have to lift the rating if they want to get down this one. It's a little full. I don't think the back markers are going to get this, but if the girls are quick enough, we see them lift the rating up. There might be one, there might be two. No, I think it's just the two down at there. Jordan Mercer, Courtney Hancock. So there's our winner from one of those two, Kurt. They're going to come out in front, but it's going to be all who gets up the beach the quickest.
Yeah, most certainly. And you've got to avoid this little inshore gutter as well. We said to the right-hand side of screen, that water's a bit deeper where Hancock is at the moment. She's got to push through it. So Mercer pushing through. It's a bit shallower where she is. Who's going to get off first? They're pretty even. Oh, good get off by Hancock. Mercer's up as well. Mercer's pumping. She's closer to the flag, and she's fresher as well, I think, from that rip. And Jordan Mercer, tactics have come home to roost here for the girl from Noosa Heads. Another great victory in the Summer of Surf, and she claims it. A come-behind win, magnificent final board leg. Courtney Hancock, super unlucky there, took the bank in the end, but still got to be happy with her form. And what about this? Maddie Dunn from nowhere to finish on the podium ahead of Harriet Brown, and Georgia Miller rounds out the top five. A fast-finishing Jordan Mercer there, taking out our round 11 Summer of Surf Ironwoman final, and a really impressive performance. She's been brilliant all summer long and really in pole position now for a big shot in that grand final coming up next week. Courtney Hancock has built on her season so far, and she'll be really happy there to get back on the podium once again. And a really fast-finishing Maddie Dunn rounding out the top three. A little bit unlucky there for Tara Coleman as well. She's got a long wait now to the Aussie titles to see if she can qualify for the series.
Wow, Jordan, what a race.
Thanks so much, Katie. That was really tough. I mean, here at Newport, it's unpredictable. We've sort of got the tide. It's going lower and lower as we speak, and there's a backwash coming out there, a little bit of a shorey, but for the most part, it's just soft sand running and some long, tough races.
And that board was absolutely incredible, the way you took the rip.
Thank you. I learned from my mistakes in the heat there. I didn't take advantage of the rip going out on the side, so I knew in the final it was definitely the decision I was going to make, and it's so fantastic when things like that pay off for you.
A battle between first and second?
It definitely was. Courtney Hancock and myself were out there sort of switching places there, and I surprised myself in the swim being able to hold on to Harriet and Courtney, and it made the job of sort of trying to get that lead on the board a whole lot easier, knowing that I was in striking distance, and really that's what I was fighting for, and it ended up going my way.
Well, went away all right now. The point score's gone away as well after 11 rounds of competition. Jordan Mercer sits in pole position, and within, well, one more race now of taking out the crown, qualifying for our grand final next week. Carly Northern right in there, Harriet Brown, Maddie Dunn, Kirsty Higgis and Georgia Miller. We'll see them all back in action for this big grand final here at Newport Beach. The top 16 to go through to battle it out to see who'll be crowned our Summer of Surf champion for 2015. Now here we go, taking a look at the Surf Ironwoman qualifying series. And now all these girls on this front page have qualified for next year's Nutrigrain. And the new stars in there, Kirsty Higgis, Georgia Miller, Carly and Amy Northern have all qualified through the SIQS this year. Now, there's only one way to get back into the series apart from the trial, and that will be to win the Australian Championship in April. And if anyone in the series wins the national title, well, that will hand a berth in the series next year to Tara Coleman. So we'll have to sit back and wait and see how that unfolds.